The Kings have had a bit of a quiet offseason, focusing on retaining their core guys and choosing to improve on the margins. It's nice to have a sense of stability and continuity within the organization for once, but it's clear the team is banking on internal development in order to improve. There was a lot of buzz within the fan base about potentially pulling the trigger to acquire a third star, but perhaps that third star is already on the roster. Coming off a phenomenal rookie season in Sacramento, Keegan Murray is likely the piece that can elevate the Kings to the next level. From the surface level, it doesn't make a ton of sense for a proven second-year player such as Keegan to get much run in Summer League, but from a developmental standpoint it can pay dividends. Keegan needs as many reps as the primary option as possible in order for him to develop into the star Sacramento is looking for. So in this video, I'm going to take a look at the strides Keegan has already made as well as the areas he can still improve on. Keegan's most impactful skill is obviously his shooting, but he really impressed as a movement shooter during his rookie season with the Kings, and the Summer League Kings did a great job at maximizing that ability. They ran a good amount of zoom action, high post splits, and DHOs to get Keegan going off of movement, and Keegan was shooting the lights out in Golden 1. The Kings ran these twirl actions a ton for Keegan last season, in which Keegan is utilized both as a screener and the recipient of a screen. And if Keegan feels he has enough space when coming off the screen, he's never shy about letting him fly, even if he isn't squared up off the catch. I also love the creativity of some of these sets, and a huge shout out to Summer League head coach Luke Laux for really empowering Keegan. Here Keegan is used as the initiator of the action, feeding the ball to Jake Stevens out of the horn setup. Some UCLA action as Keegan cuts off of Kessler's screen to the basket, only to loop back around into a DHO and a one dribble step back to create himself separation for a shot. But we know what Keegan is as a shooter already. Summer League for Keegan was mainly going to be about leveraging that ability to open up other areas of his game. Teams are going to overplay or lock control Keegan off screens, which is going to open up more opportunities for him to get downhill, and he really embraced an aggressive attitude in Summer League. Here the defender goes over, but stays attached to Keegan so there's no space for a shot. Keegan goes right into attack mode, a couple long strides, and frees himself up for a soft finish. This is that zoom action from before that the Kings run a ton of. Keegan comes off looking for a shot, but the defender runs him off the line and forces him to attack. I love how he snakes back to his right here, keeping his arms extended and the ball low to draw contact and getting himself to the line. Keegan did an incredible job creating contact and drawing fouls in these two games, earning 26 total free throws and hitting 23 of them. Compare this to his rookie season where Keegan shot just 81 free throws all season, averaging only 1 attempt per game. I also wanted to see Keegan be able to make simple reads and prove himself as more than a scorer offensively. Normally you'll see Keegan go straight up here when he's attacking, but instead he comes to a stop, gets the defender in the air, and makes the kick out pass to an open 3. These easier read and react passes will go a long way in filling out his offensive game. The Kings gave Keegan a ton of pick and roll reps this Summer League, which is something he rarely saw last season. These are going to be huge for his development as he still has a ton of room to grow as a decision maker. Here the gap defender fully commits to Keegan coming off the screen, which should trigger the kick out to Jordan Ford, but Keegan doesn't see it and tries to force it at the basket instead, though he does get bailed out with a foul. I like that Keegan is looking for the skip pass here, but he needs to do a better job at drawing the tag man, and this is a really tough pass to make on time with two hands. You really need to be able to whip these off a live dribble. But stuff like this is what makes Keegan development so intriguing. Double drag ball screens for him here, which is normally a set you'll see the Kings run for either Fox or Malik Monk. But instead watch the Kings 4-man come off multiple picks, waltz his way into the lane, and rise up for a floater. This time he comes off the screens to his left, snakes back to his right, pump fakes to get his defender off balance, then knocks down the long mid-range jumper. Keegan didn't get a single double drag rep all last season, and now here he is in Summer League operating out of these sets like a guard. Summer League enables Keegan to be able to work on his self-creation ability off the dribble, as opposed to his rookie season where most of his buckets were assisted and created via teammates. Keegan does an excellent job using his body here and shielding off the smaller defender, then coming to a jump stop and elevating for a fadeaway jumper. Shots like these will really be unguardable with Keegan's size. And watch Keegan stop on a dime here and step back to create space, something we haven't really seen from him at all. But watch the setup of this play, where Jalen Slauson comes and goes to ball screen for Keegan to create the matchup that he wants. Keegan being used as the initiator in these actions is brand new to him. In fact, later in the game, the Kings actually used Keegan as a go screener, and he was able to attack a closeout off of it. These on-ball reps for Keegan can provide for so much more potential offensive versatility down the line, allowing Keegan to act both as a screener and as the initiator. The Kings ran a lot of ghost action for Fox last season, but in these instances, Keegan was strictly used as a screener, never getting on-ball reps like he did here in Summer League. Just watching Keegan experiment and looking to expand his bag is a joy to watch. And he's also processing the game much faster. Here he wastes no time, attacks instantly off the catch, and goes at the defender's front foot. It's about anticipating these aggressive closeouts now that he's established himself as an elite shooting threat. Keegan still really needs to work on improving his handle. He doesn't keep the ball low enough for his size and really struggles against ball pressure from smaller guards. Here he comes off wide around the screen, there's help from the gap defender and Keegan panics, tries to dribble away from the help but never keeps his head up and loses the ball. Though with that being said, Keegan has already made some pretty big strides in cleaning up his handle, especially in the open court. Here in transition, setting his defender up with an in and out cross hezzy before attacking left, showing some of that wiggle that we've been looking to see. Keegan has already showcased some ability as a grab and go threat, but is now looking much more explosive running the break in transition. And how about grabbing the board here, leading the break, and stepping right into a transition pull-up 3. Just unreal confidence. I'm not going to spend too much time on the defensive side of the ball because I didn't find too much to really take away from Summer League that we didn't see last season. I do appreciate the Kings giving Keegan a lot of point of attack reps against guards, and we saw some flashes of good mobility and flexibility here. The biggest thing for Keegan against smaller players is going to be knowing how to use his length, being able to slide with them and just not get blown by, then contest at the basket and go straight up. Keegan will provide much more value as a team defender though, where he can really put his size and length to use. Here when there's 2 on the ball, Keegan has to sink in on the big man, but has the reaction time and awareness to close out on the kick out pass and uses his length to get a hand on the ball. And watch Keegan's eyes here in the break that he makes on the ball. He reads the play from the weak side the whole way, and right when the pass is thrown bolts to meet Hawkins at the basket, he definitely fouls him, but it's still tremendous recognition. There's still some sleeping moments from Keegan on this end though, like here where he's anticipating a handoff, so he gives up the back door really easily. And here he knows his teammate has a mismatch, but he's overhelping way too early here and gives up a wide open corner 3 on the kickout. I do believe Keegan projects to be a very valuable defender and should be a definite positive on that end, but overall, I'm not going to make any drastic conclusion based purely off Summer League, but the developmental progress that we wanted to see out of Keegan has exceeded all expectations so far. He made it clear he was on a completely different talent level than the rest of the field, and did so while also trying out things and looking to expand his game. Anyways, I appreciate you guys for watching, thank you and see you next time.